Welcome to the Squeeze with Tony Pasquazi and Frankie Bacalars. We're here again in week one talking to another St. Mary's University volleyball player. It's senior defensive specialist Grace Gilles. Grace, thank you so much for being on with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're very excited to have you on the show. We were kind of talking about it before we put the recording on, but you know, you're a bit of a media personality as well. You're triple majoring in digital media journalism, public relations, and I can't even remember the third one. But sports management. Sports management. So, tell us a little bit. You've got one guy who wants to write sports. He's doing it for Donnie this semester, and you got one guy who wants to go into play-by-play. So what do you want to do in media?
I think want to go into the writing part of it. I interned this summer and did a lot of writing, and I really enjoyed that. Really anything with sports though would be a dream for me to go into. I would love that.
And then, what would a dream sport to cover be?
Obviously volleyball, but I really also love basketball or baseball. I really like that one too. So not as good with football, but any of the other ones would be great.
Did you come into college knowing that you wanted to go into media, or was it just kind of something you realized after taking classes at St. Mary's?
I really honestly didn't know exactly what I wanted to coming into college. I just knew I wanted to do something in sports, and I thought it would probably be more the business route, but then I really liked Dean Beckman and all of his classes a lot. So I think leaned more towards journalism after that.
Yeah, and now here we are with 3 majors. There's no way you're graduating on time.
I am. Somehow I am. I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, I can't let my parents see this interview or else they might kill me. 3 majors, graduating in 4 years. Also, all 4 years spent on the women's volleyball team under coach Jackie Keeker. Defensive specialist is the position. And personally, anecdotally, from what I've seen, calling your games, you're pretty good at serving. That's what I would say your specialty is. What do you think your specialty is?
I do. Thank you. I do like serving a lot. My specialty obviously is more in the back row. But beyond that, I think I just really enjoy rooting for my team and being there for everyone. And to me, that's the most fun part of the game.
Yeah, there's nothing like volleyball cheers for sure. Who's the person this year who you think is going to be in charge of making up all those cheers?
That's a tough one. I think Elise is always brings a lot of energy to the team. You can always hear her on the sidelines a lot or on the court. I think one of the freshmen, though, that is going to lead the cheers a lot is going to be Bella. She'll be one to watch out for sure. Gotcha.
And the Elise thing, I've always wondered, is it a bit, or is she legitimately that fired up all the time?
She is legitimately that fired up. She just really loves volleyball, and she's really fun to be around.
Yeah, on the topic of just really loving volleyball and all that, we kind of touched on this on the show last Sunday, but kind of a little bit about Division III athletics in general and how, coming from another Division III student athlete and a former Division III student athlete in Tony, we're not getting scholarships. We're getting 2 t-shirts a year. So what drives you this is your 4th year on the team. What drove you to stay on the team for 4 years and really stick out being a Division III athlete? Because it's really treacherous.
Yeah, definitely. I think what drove me is obviously I've always loved volleyball growing up. But here I've especially loved it because it is such a close-knit group of girls, and it's been really fun to see kind of our development together throughout my time here, and each year just continuing to get better and better, and seeing everything that we work on throughout the year kind of come into play in games. I think that's been really rewarding and definitely makes it worth it for sure.
Yeah, rewarding in more ways than one, I'm sure. But one of those has been your success against top-ranked opponents. I asked DJ what her thoughts on the fact that you guys can topple giants so routinely. What about you? Why do you think St. Mary's volleyball is so special in that way?
I think we're special in that way because we kind of love being the underdogs. I think, every game you go into it really excited, but especially when you're the underdog, there's just an extra energy in the gym, and everybody's just super, super pumped. And we like surprising people for sure.
Yeah, and that you've done a couple times. My favorite one was last year against Bethel, down 0-2, coming back in and winning that one against a really high quality team. But we're not going to get to see you guys until October. I mean, you don't have a home game for an entire month. You go on the road quite often, a couple of invitationals and tournaments and non-conference opponents. But what is that like, being a student athlete and traveling every single week for a month?
It's definitely a grind. We kind of had a similar schedule my freshman year, so I'm a little bit used to it, I guess, from that, but it's for sure a grind. But I'm really excited for the end of the season when it kind of switches and we have like all home games at the end. That'll be, especially being a senior, that'll be awesome to be able to end it on such a high note playing at home.
Yeah, I think I just checked it, 4 straight games at home to end the
Yeah.
season. Hopefully by then, you've already locked up a playoff spot and we'll be seeing more women's volleyball deep into the MIAC playoffs. Coach Keeker, what's her coaching style like? She's a great person to talk to and talk shop with, and also just, get to know. But what type of a coach is she?
She is a great coach. I've really liked her a lot. My past 3 years here, coming into it, it's definitely, when you're a freshman, it's an adjustment from high school. But I would say I really respect just the high standards that she has for everyone. At the same time, she's a very understanding coach. So I think her balance between both of those, kind of pushing us to be the best that we can be and still understanding that we are students and we have a lot of things going on, has been really great all my years here.
Yeah, I ran into you guys outside of Toner maybe a week ago or so, right before you were going on that scavenger hunt. Was your team victorious?
We actually came in second to last, not quite last. We for sure thought we were winning the whole time, but we did not win.
Yeah, whose idea was that? It looked fun.
I think it was kind of dual Kylie and Jackie's idea. But yeah, it was super fun. Just kind of a way for everyone to see Winona, especially the freshmen, kind of get to know the area a little bit. That was definitely one of my favorite things we've done here.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. And you brought up Kylie. Kylie Zumack was a D1 volleyball player. Jackie was a D1 volleyball player. She was all freshman in the SEC, I believe, which is crazy. The first to ever do that at Ole Miss. Those two being D1 volleyball players, how have they made the adjustment to D3, do you think?
I think they've made the adjustment really well. I think it's great having such skilled coaches who have not only played at such a high level and can kind of bring all their knowledge, but they also understand kind of going through it and what it's like to be a student athlete. So I think that's just a huge advantage, is having coaches that not only played, but also played at such a high level.
Yeah, I've heard sometimes the best players make the worst coaches because they're just kind of like, do this thing. And then you turn around and tell them it's really hard to do. Just because you can do it doesn't mean I can do it. But it sounds like that's not the case.
No, definitely not with those two.
Have you yet, or are you going to apply to be an official squeeze athlete, or squeeze lead, as we're calling it?
I have not, but I would love to. If you guys are taking applications, I would for sure love to.
We definitely are.
I will send you the link after this interview, and then you need to send it to everybody on the volleyball team because it's stiff competition.
Really stiff competition.
We are promising absolutely nothing.
we're going the opposite direction of Barstool athletes, where we're letting very few people in.
Yes, very
Oh,
exclusive club.
going to be an elite club.
Yes.
And,
And then
promises on doing anything.
a lot of freshmen, I think 9 this year. So it's going to be a new look team. I believe you're running a different style as well, 6'2". So a lot of change, a lot of flux in the entire lineup. How are you guys going to do? How do you think you guys are going to end up in the MIAC this year?
I think, again, our specialty is kind of being the underdog. I think looking at it, a lot of people might think, oh, you have 9 freshmen, they might not be the same team that they were last year. And although we're definitely not the same team we were last year, I think just even in this preseason, we've seen so much growth and so much improvement from everyone on the team, and just really being able to build that team culture and the team that we want from the ground up has been so much fun. So I'm super excited actually to be able to have all these 9 freshmen. They've been super great, and I think we might surprise some teams again this year in the MIAC.
Sounds good to me. Thank you so much, Grace. This will be out there on Thursday, and then catch us, me, Tony Pasquazi, and Frankie Bacalars next Sunday at 11 a.m. for a live squeeze. We'll back then. So thanks, Grace.